And so here we have Sonic Boom Rise of Lyric, which came out for the Wii U in 2014. This has gone down to be not only maybe the worst Sonic game of all time, but one of the worst games of the 2010s. So this game, as the title implies, is part of the Sonic Boom sub-series. This would actually be the start of the sub-series, where there would be a few games and a few seasons of a TV show. And all I will say is that this is the very worst thing to come from the Sonic Boom sub-series, and they really didn't start off on a good foot. This is just one of those games where it feels like they got nearly every single thing wrong. So the story is about Sonic, Tails, Knuckles, and Amy, who go up against this new antagonist known as Lyric after Sonic accidentally wakes his ass up. And I'll just keep things brief here. Anything to do with the story, characters, dialogue, writing, world building, anything to do with the general plot, it's just terrible in this game. There is very little to no redeeming qualities when it comes to the story or its characters or the general writing of this game. The game is also aggressively unfunny with some very dated memes to the point where it's just cringe. Something else I'll immediately call out is I don't like the character designs, never have, never will. Especially Knuckles. I always thought he just looked kind of weird, and speaking of looking, let's take a look at the presentation here. Yeah, this isn't a great looking game. It was a Wii U game in 2014, and I'm not expecting Rise Son of Rome graphics, which funny enough runs on the same engine as this game, but it's just not a great looking game. Like, the character models, they're okay, you know, outside of the general design. The animation is not awful, but the environments just don't look all that good, and then the frame rate is horrid in this game. It is just kind of an abomination. The game chugs like crazy. It rarely ever runs at a steady frame rate, and it was just a really choppy experience. This game was just very unpolished when it came to the visuals and presentation in general. At least the music's pretty decent. When it comes to the gameplay, yeah, lacking polish is the least of this game's issues. The game doesn't really play much like any other Sonic the Hedgehog game. Rather than going fast and platforming, it plays much more like an action-adventure game. You can play as Sonic, Tails, Knuckles, and Amy, and they all control decently different, but they all have one thing in common, that they don't control very well to begin with. The controls in this game just feel really sloppy, imprecise, and it never felt like I had a great handle on the feel of this game. There are a few different gameplay segments. There are some parts where it tries to be more like other Sonic games where it's fast-paced and there's platforming, but the level design isn't anything special, and it made me wish I was playing literally any other 3D Sonic game. There are these bigger, more open areas where it's all about exploration and solving basic puzzles and using your character's abilities, and these, yeah, I don't really care for this. This is just kind of dull. I didn't have really any fun with this, and you get into quite a bit of combat, and really that's the last thing to bring up with this game. There is a lot of combat. It's not quick and easy like plenty of other Sonic games. No, they try to make it more involved here, and it's just not very good. Not only does it not feel well, it doesn't flow well, it's not nice, it's certainly not fun, and it just felt like a chore the entire time. This entire game just feels like a chore. The combat in this game is just kind of dreadful. It becomes super tedious, it's incredibly easy, it doesn't ever try to challenge you, it doesn't even try to ever do anything different. It's just this boring slog. And they even throw a few bosses in there, but the combat, there's just nothing really good about it. I really struggle to find like anything good about this gameplay. They try to add a little extra depth. Each character does have their own unique abilities, and you will need to switch between them in order to get through the game. You can even upgrade them by finding this scrap metal, but it really just doesn't add anything to the game. This really is just such an unfun experience that I had trouble playing even more than like an hour or two of it. I played it back when it came out at a friend's house. He was really excited for it, and I guess we were just fucking fools because I thought it could have been half decent, but no. What you have here is one of the worst video games I've ever played. The gameplay is beyond tedious, repetitive. There's very few good things about it. It's incredibly buggy. The presentation's terrible. The writing is an insult to Sonic the Hedgehog, and this game in general is just kind of an insult to humankind. Sega didn't send out review codes because they knew this game was going to tank, and it absolutely did tank. I cannot recommend a single human being on this planet, not even my worst enemy, go check this game out. It's just awful.